What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support is just epic, Cancer, especially during our birthday season, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. I hope you're enjoying your birthday season. Hope we're all just having a really great time. We've got a couple more weeks of Cancer season, so let's live it up. And for another fellow reader out there, happy birthday, Jamie. Now, Cancer, the purpose of this channel for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Saturn, even Uranus, Cancer, wherever, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign. Can you tell the energy's just hype? Cancer's getting closer to my birthday. But I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void. Of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. In Cancer, the moon is going void of course today. The moon's going to be going void of course at about 9:41 a.m. Oh, yeah. And that's going to be Eastern time. Thank you. And then we'll be moving from Aquarius into Pisces at around 1:32 in the afternoon. So we're looking at about a 3-hour, 51-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And with the void of course energy, good time for just kind of kicking back, recharging your batteries, just checking in with yourself, Cancer. We with how, especially with us being in our season, emotions are definitely heightened. We really do take on a lot of the energies of those around us. And so we just want to be making sure that we're just kind of weeding through what's ours and what's stuff that we've picked up from the environment. So, maybe doing some meditation, going for walks, doing some journaling, anything along those lines that get you into that kind of meditative space, just so you can find center again, Cancer. And then you may also notice with this time that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes. And then that also people may be less likely to make decisions during this time. So just something to pay attention to there, Cancer. And then with the moon being in Aquarius, this is great energy, Cancer, especially for our birthday season, to get out there, start socializing, maybe exchanging ideas, thinking about the future, what you plan to succeed over this next year. And Aquarius energy as well is great for, they're a sign of humanitarianism. And so if you've been feeling this, like, I don't want to say like a compulsion, but like just this need or want to help out humanity, whether that be through volunteering or however that's looking. Maybe we're doing some sort of like neighborhood cleanup, beach cleanup, something along those lines, just to beautify where you're at, Cancer. Aquarius energy is great for that. And it's also great for, there's one other thing I wanted to mention with their energy, Cancer, but ain't that important. It'll come back to me. I'm kidding. Aquarius is great. But then with the waning gibbous phase, this is kind of like that calm after the storm. We just got done celebrating, hopefully we've been celebrating our big win as far as like, whatever it is you started out during this lunar cycle, hopefully starting to solidify. You're starting to see some results. Things are feeling good. You're feeling transformed. But if not, this energy is great for, meditation, internal reflection. We're on the reflective side of the lunar phases now. And so we can evaluate whether, and that's funny, I like that the waning gibbous, the tarot card that they associated with is the star, and the star is Aquarius, Cancer. And I do feel like that this is something where, you can evaluate if you feel like whatever you set out hasn't quite stuck yet. We can figure out what tweaks do we want to make and how do we apply it to this next lunar cycle, kind of carry it over. That's totally fine, Cancer. Growth is happening regardless. It may, sometimes we may set out, sometimes it's like, when we get started on one thing, it's like we get a good locked in maybe one lunar cycle, and then we start focusing on another thing, and then that one starts to take life happens and it gets kind of thrown out of balance here. Just for that reassessment there, Cancer. But Last couple of things. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But also down below are some readers that I like, a very intuitive group. Definitely check them out. Great energy, so hopefully you'll like them as well, Cancer. But let's get into your first card today here, and looks like we're getting a closer look at things, Cancer, because you got the 7th card of Virgos here, which is the fine print card. And with this card, this is a card of detail, look closer, inspection, research. Be careful, in-depth, pay attention, don't assume, thorough, deep dive, hidden, information, double check, and read between the lines. And the energies that's coming through here, Cancer, with this card is the research. You know, this could be something where we may be actually doing some, like, maybe studying for school, maybe, Cancer. Maybe going back to, I don't know, picking up maybe some courses or something along those lines. Or maybe there's an area, maybe if this is not like a schooling thing, maybe just in general, maybe you were thinking about doing some sort of research with whatever your latest interest is, Cancer. Maybe we're interested in astrology. You know, maybe we're thinking about, what is this girl doing? I don't know what she's doing. She's maybe the librarian. I mean, she seems a very intelligent, whatever she's doing, a very pensive look. But whatever this interest is, Cancer, I feel like maybe for some of us, we may be thinking about just like expanding the brain a little bit, maybe learning about a new routine that we want to incorporate because, you know, Virgo energy, that's one thing that they deal with on top of. This could even be something too, Cancer. Just think about that. Virgo also deals with like the day-to-day, you know, as far as like the jobs and things along those lines. Not necessarily your career, but this could be something where maybe we're researching maybe some alternative means for income possibly, or maybe we're just looking to do like how I was saying with Aquarius energy, you would be in as far as like volunteering and things. Maybe we're looking into stuff like that. Very curious energy that's kind of coming through, Cancer. And if there's something that's been kind of piquing your curiosity, give it a thorough look. Kind of do a deep dive. And the hidden part of this card was something that came out too, Cancer. So I feel like that when we start researching this, whatever this interest is that you know just kind of got you interested, I feel like that there's something that is going to potentially awaken in you, Cancer. I don't mean it has to be, I mean it could potentially, you know, wouldn't that be something, just epiphanies all over the place. But it could be, even it's not like a big, you know, awakening or, you know, realization or something, even just like little things, Cancer, just like, because, you know, Virgo deals with like the details, the mundane, the mind, you know, those kind of like very little details. I feel like it's something that as we're learning about all these little things, that it's accumulating or that it's contributing to the whole that is you, Cancer. So very interesting. Let's get some tarot on this. Get some more details. And one thing that I'd like to mention with this card too, Cancer, just if we're doing any sort of like contracts or anything along those lines, just make sure that we are doing just you know, a thorough look, doing our research. Let's say for, you know, maybe going for a new company or trying out I don't know, Cancer. Just anything that if you feel like you don't have the expertise and you might need just like a little, like for example like cars or something. Maybe we're going in for like an oil change, and then you find out that they're like, oh, you need to get the engine, the blah blah blah, the what's it called it done. It's just like, let me get a second opinion on that. You know, something along those lines, Cancer. Thank you. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Cancer. So you have the Page of Wands. Ooh, okay, hold up. So we got the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Three of Cups, and then the Ten of Pentacles here, Cancer. It's very interesting, Cancer, because I feel like for some of us, this is kind of what I was feeling earlier. It's like maybe for some we're like looking at different pieces to our dreams here, and it's like we're putting the pieces together and forming this lovely little puzzle here. Maybe for some it's like maybe we're thinking about looking into real estate, or maybe we're looking into, you know, maybe going out in the dating pool, you know, maybe as far as like maybe pursuing some kind of romance here, Cancer. Maybe doing some socializing with the Three of Cups here. You know, maybe things get a little passionate and we get right thinking about our families. But whatever this is, it does feel like that The Knight of Cups energy is very much kind of coming through here. And if, Knight of Cups is a Scorpio energy. That's how I read the Knight of Cups as Scorpio energy. And it feels like that it's interesting with this card because I feel like that there's this energy, whatever this thing that you've been either been meaning to make time, because this could even be Cancer if it's not like a nagging feeling that you've been like curious about. This could even be something that you've been entertaining for a little while, but it's just been maybe even just finding the time to really pursue it. Let's say we've had like our eyes on maybe like taking a course or something, and we think about it, we get to think about pulling the trigger, and then there's like, oh well, it's just like maybe there's like finances don't happen to work at the time, or maybe we have X happening or this happening. And it's just like, I feel like if that's something that's been happening, Cancer, it's like it's making time for these things, because I feel that sometimes especially when it comes to like passions or hobbies or just like little secondary things outside of like the main grind, we could come up with 101 like reasons to not do it, and then we get into this place of where sure, we're happy on a maybe like a superficial level here, but it's just like on the base you've hit your check marks, but it's just like, can we take that like a little bit deeper, you know what I mean? Feeling like with this with the Three of Cups here, and and I feel like too, Cancer, especially when I think about if we ever said, because I know we've all said it at one point, where it's just like there's not enough time in the day, or I don't have time for this, or something along those lines. Well, if we keep saying those things, Cancer, then that's what's going to keep perpetuating, because that's what we're feeling, that there's not enough time, and we're very powerful feelers, Cancer, and so we just want to be mindful of that. It's just like, I may not have, or it may not seem like you may be very busy, absolutely, Cancer. So it's like, let's come at it from a different point. What days or what time frames would make sense for me to research into X? Maybe we're carving out a day a week for this thing, or maybe we got a couple of days, or however you want to do this, Cancer. But I do feel like that there's a need to explore this too, just with this being the Three of Cups is Mercury in Cancer. And Mercury is in Cancer right now, at least for the next couple of days before they start moving over into Leo. So I feel like this is still a great time for you, Cancer, too. And listen, after this energy leaves, it's not like it's just like completely gone or anything like that. It's just, Mercury in Cancer it's learning to bring our head and our heart together and to follow that intuition into, there might be, because you see he's got a lot of love that's going on here, but there's still a little danger, there's little sharks, lurking in the waters, but that's the excitement, Cancer, it's like, it's part of the journey. It's just like this night here, it's just like, do I want to take on this dragon? You know what, let's just see what happens. That's, I hope that makes sense, Cancer. But just explore that curious side of you, and then don't be afraid to see how that's going to expand, because it may bring some major, like some bonuses that maybe you didn't expect to happen. Right? I like that, Cancer. Give yourself a little birthday gift. Treat yourself. I'm doing these readings like the other ones. Hold on, Cancer. Let's get to some challenges here. Let's see what we got here, Cancer. Oh, look at all these lunar shenanigans. I love it. So you got the Moon, the High Priestess, and the Two of Swords here, Cancer. And with our ruler being here, Cancer, and she just got done being in the full moon phase not too long ago. I tell you, I really do love that I get like I'm seeing the moon more now. It's been lovely. And that might be something too, Cancer. When you're doing this meditation and going void of course and things, when you get a moment, just take a little peek up at her. Just whenever this. I tell you what, there's this app. My moon phase. I have it in the link, well, not a link, but what is called in the description box. But it really is a great app. It lets you know, like, if there's going to be cloud cover in your area, what best times to see the moon. Is really dope. So something to think about there, Cancer. But I feel like with all these lunar shenanigans coming up here, that there's something here about, because you see how the high priestess in this one, they always portray the high priestess usually as this very intelligent figure, which she totally is. But you see all these books back here, Cancer? I feel like that's what's happening here right now. Maybe some challenges is that how much maybe it is that we want to learn, that maybe we're having maybe maybe struggling as far as like figuring out where we want to start first, because there's so many ways that we can expand Cancer, and even not even just with like all of the topics. You get into like a specific topic, and then there's like what, just like it's like a rabbit hole that down that thing. I tell you, doing like astrology and studying this stuff, I am forever learning things. And granted, I got a Gemini moon, so that's I'm loving it. But it can be a lot, Cancer, and I feel like that this is where this stuff may seem, I don't know if you can tell here, see this panther here at how this cat scene gets up as a panther, where we may, because sometimes I feel like when we think about learning a new thing, let's say for example if we're learning learning the guitar, we can see some other people, and it's like how you feel like this cat, and it's just like, how the hell am I going to become a panther? How can I become an expert guitar player? But it's just to keep visualizing yourself like that, Cancer, going down that path, following that journey, because all the moon wants to do is reflect your sunlight, reflect your will, your energy, because after the moon is the sun. But I do feel like that this energy here is being mindful of your emotions, Cancer, just with all, because even the moon, this is Pisces energy. It's Pisces, being a fellow water sign, very emotional as well. And it feels that this is one where it is, I feel like it's going to be a balance of that head and heart, Cancer, where it's just like taking your feelings and your dreams and then helping those ideas manifest, making that first move, going with the one that really kind of speaks with you, and just start there and see where that goes, see what stuff of information we can gather from that, and then when we feel like we've gotten enough there, journey elsewhere, expand from that. But I do feel that the one thing with the Two of Swords is that sometimes where, if we do feel kind of overwhelmed by the decisions or making time, or if we feel like it's gonna, if it just is gonna become too much, we can get to this place of where it's almost like we do just kind of blindfold ourselves and just not, kind of blind ourselves to like those curiosities, those things, in that level of expansion. And I just think we want to be mindful of that, Cancer, because it's, I feel like all of us really benefit from just always, like, not overloading yourself, but enriching your life a little bit as far as like learning different things, like maybe, this could be something as curious as just like learning how to, I don't know, learn how to garden, to maybe learning your own, I don't know, you're building a house, Cancer, so maybe we need to want to learn how to do our own plumbing or lay down floors or carpentry. I mean, I'm with it. But in just thinking with lunar shenanigans, the Two of Swords, this is the moon in Libra. And how you're going to feel about something, as you're going along this thing and researching stuff is going to change, it's going to fluctuate, Cancer. But I feel like ours is a sign too, where it benefits to experience all these emotions, even the more uncomfortable ones, because when we learn to kind of be with them and make them allies and understand them, then we can use them for growth, expansion. It becomes this great little like relationship there, Cancer. I like that. Let's get some tea and get some advice from Saturn and Uranus. Oh, and there's the sun, Cancer. See? I like that. That's the second time I've had that happen. The sun and the moon coming out in the same reading. I feel like there's been a lot of that. Oh, I'm sorry, and the Empress. Go ahead, Cancer. Look at all that abundance. Let's see what else you got here. Alright, Cancer more. Oh, and there's Virgo. Look at that for the win. Let's hold on, Cancer. Let's switch back over. I love that. Because Cancer, some advice. You know, I feel like with the Two of Wands and the Page of Cups, this is a nice little combination here. Because it's just like taking whatever it is that you... I don't know, Cancer. It's just like there's something here, just taking a closer look at something. You know, if you've wanted to research, like maybe you've wanted to, I don't know, maybe even like how he's got this world in his hand, maybe you wanted to figure out maybe some more effective ways of traveling, possibly, you know? And it's just like, it feels like the energy's here saying you can create all this happiness, Cancer, all this abundance whenever you feel like it. You know, it might be a little challenging at first. You know, it may be something where we may have some disappointments, maybe make some mistakes. Just like, and I'm just feeling this like if this is maybe. Because like with our travel idea, for example, you know, maybe we wanted to, okay, it's really cheap going by bus, but then we find that we're not very big into buses, and that's kind of disappointing. You know, maybe we got didn't quite sleep well, whatever it might be, Cancer, but that's a learning experience, and it's something where we can learn to appreciate every aspect of that, because it is providing a level of wisdom, Cancer. It's helping you level up and sharpening you up for the next go round. You know, I was talking with a friend about as far as like moving and things, you know, kind of moving around, and I was telling them how I had moved. It was like there was a period of time there, Cancer, I was like moving like every other year, or not even every other year, like every year for a little while there, and kind of settled down and then did a little more moving. But it was one of those things. I was telling them that when we first started moving, it was, I mean, we got through it, but it was a mess and it was expensive. And then second go around got a little bit easier. Third go around, I mean, by then we were experts. And then it really was just like routine almost. It was just like, hey, you ready to move? It's just like, okay. But that's what I feel like it's going to happen here, Cancer. It's one of those things that is going to get you towards that Empress in the end here, because I love this. Oh, this kind of like, this is being the Hermit being Virgo, and the Empress, you know, is Venus. Venus and Virgo is like your Nine of Pentacles, and I feel that it's creating that, it's working on these things, Cancer, building on yourself, you know, adding to that Empress value, because then all you're gonna be doing is just radiating sunlight, Cancer, all day, every day. So I'm with that, and considering too, we just got out of that full moon there, Cancer. You know, the sun was just opposed the moon. You know, now we're getting towards that waning phase. We'll be getting towards I like this, Cancer. So be thinking about this. Let's take a deep dive. But all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. So if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer. You know, I feel like all Cancers, really everyone just in general, you know, benefits from just kind of looking out and look at this, Cancer. I had even just noticed this too, because you got the Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Page of Wands, and Knight of Cups. It's like you leveled up, Cancer, in all aspects. You know, you took energy. I love it. But yeah, share this, Cancer, and then subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week or each day. And then I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer. And I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. It's just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And then as it grows, I'm going to start posting like different healing music, meditation themed stuff along those lines. Do some like, you know, my for the trademark of this one that started that self-care with the Empress, or, you know, maybe going void of course with the High Priestess. Those are my top two favorites. I love these ladies. So definitely check that out, Cancer. And then lastly, while you're also checking out things, check your, oh, look at that. Check your sun, your moon, your Venus. We don't have rising. Just check your rising. Check your chart, Cancer. And then come on over and check my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos weekly there. Getting ready to do the Celestial News monthly, because we're almost, you know, as much fun as our season has been, it's going to be Leo season soon. I guess we can pass off the sun. let them share we can share their ruler a little bit, Cancer. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here. Look at you syncing up with these energies here, Cancer. I love it. You got Aquarius here, the star. And then while I'm getting your Oracle card here, you know, I like this star. Now, I like all the stars, but This one I feel like is a great example of, especially if we've been been feeling a need to want, if we've been just feeling curious about something, Cancer, you've been getting signals from your higher self, however we connect to the source. And then taking that curiosity and see how she's just manifesting that into the water there, Cancer, just pouring this out and just seeing. I love it. And I love how you're going in order too, Cancer, because it's like we're taking those dreams. You start off with the star, and then the next card is the moon. We went on that journey. And then look at you, celebrating in the sun. It was like the universe is trying to set this thing up, Cancer, or something. I'm with it. Let's get your surprise cards here. And with the moon there, trust that intuition, Cancer, always. Even when she's not here, trust that intuition. Let's see what you got here, Cancer. And what's a little more sun energy with the wind? You got the calendula card here, which is the first card. And this is a card of purity. And it's ruled by the sun. And calendula is delicious. But Cancer, I really do feel that there is a sense of... Because that's what Virgo energy is about, you know. They're known, they're considered like, you know, known as like the perfectionists and things, but they really are just trying to bring purity to life, you know. As when they're called the virgins, it is more like that purifying energy, to that refinement, to get to your Empress energy, you know. Even sharper, to get that balance of Emperor and Empress energy, you know. Really kind of get that peace that. There's something here, Cancer. It's like when you we'll start with like a lump, we'll start with some coal, and then you refine it and put that pressure and then refine and before you know it, you got diamonds, Cancer. That's what I feel like this energy is doing here, you know, really letting yourself shine through, because the sun deals with like our will, you know, our expression, our energy, you know. It's beautiful what goes down there. And just a sidebar, Cancer, this is not medical advice or anything, but calendula is it's a very delicious tea. It's very bright. It's such a bright color when you get it. It's such a vibrant orange. I love it. It's really good for like gut stuff, Cancer. Oh, Cancer, looks like I've been disconnected, Cancer. So, on that note, I am going to wrap this up, Cancer. So you stay safe out there. And keep eyes on the moon, Cancer. Where's High Priestess go? Look at that, she's elusive. Keep eyes on the moon. Got all these lunar shenanigans here. I love it. Moon in Aquarius. Look at that. The moon in Aquarius, Cancer. You sync it up with the energies. You know how I feel about that. And I will get you on the next one tomorrow.